This is how I made close to $1,000 trading one candle today on gold. Now obviously this is the full trade in its entirety, just hit TP and it's just about playing at the 1.27 extension here. I'm going to run you guys through today's trade. It wasn't our normal 5M CRT. It was a bit of a variation and it was going over our 159 schematic. Okay. Now, if you guys haven't already, go watch the 4-hourly candle close video and my mastering the daily time frame video. Okay. That should fully explain everything about my technical analysis and how I approach today. And I at least try my best to give you guys the briefings of why I entered. Okay. So firstly, coming to yesterday, we did have a bullish bias on gold. And I'll just quickly show you guys in the Discord. So firstly, our previous bias for gold was that this is essentially what we're looking for. Okay. We ideally want to go to move the upside and wanted that to also be aided by a CRT. Okay. Now, gold really gave us the option yesterday to get involved in the move because as you can see right over here, during our live stream, we're looking at it and there you can see gold just spiraled to the upside here. Okay. Without us. But the main point was that it was reaching our previous daily high and our previous week points that were being made on liquidity, which is why we had like a massive impulse here. But we're okay with missing this opportunity. Okay, obviously, we don't want to just rush into position. We instead use this to enable us to take today's trade because now we had a confirmed bullish bias. Okay, right? So as you can see, now coming to today, the date outlook was that simply we already have created this sweep on our hourly on our 4-hour time frame. As you can see right here, we had a very deep sweep and price also sweeping out this previous trendline liquidity, which I really love to see because that's additional liquidity that can aid us in our position. Okay. And you can see we're just simply looking for a bullish push here. Okay. Everything I'm talking about right now, it was already discussed in the live stream. So you guys do want access to that. Okay. It will be in the link in the description. So you can gain access to the Discord, our community, and all my information about our one candle mechanics. Okay, so let's go back into train video. So come back into the morning. So right about here, 8:25. Okay, so first to start off our day on the 4-hour time frame here. Now, first off, this right here is my main CRT candle. So when I come into the morning, this is the main candle I'm looking at to get swept. However, on this day, there was an exception because price has already created a sweep from the 1 a.m. candle. So if you actually just zoom in here, you can see this is my 5 a.m. candle and then this right here is my 1 a.m. candle. You can see that that does get swept by 5 a.m. Now on these type of days, this is the 3-stick CRT where I'm looking now for my 9 a.m. candle, which is the next 4 candle, to instead make a major bullish move to the upside here to complete that 3-stick CRT schematic. Okay. And here's a specific note on this. As you can see, 1 a.m. is set by the 5 a.m. and then 9 a.m. makes the distribution. So now that we have a clear bias ahead, we now need to look for our entries. So going back to our 2-minute time frame, which is my preferred lower time frame, I do switch between the 3-minute and the 1-minute also though. So coming into here, as you already said, we already have swept out the 1 a.m. candle. So I can just pull out. So these are my hourly candles and these are my 4-hour candles. We're going to focus on the 4-hour candles for today. So here's the 1 a.m. candle. As you can see over there, there's the low and there's the high. So this is actually my main draw on liquidity. Okay. So when I'm looking for price, I'm usually looking to enter around 9 to 11 o'clock for my ideal in my AM session trades. So you can see just pushing price forward here, about to start the New York session macro, 8:50 there. Okay, here we go. So right about here, 9 o'clock hits and now I'm actively looking at the chart and just looking for signs of price wanting to conform to my bullish bias. This is really a very good reaction to see because this quick sweep and then our price is coming back into the range. Once again, here is that 1 a.m. low point, a very clear drawn liquidity. And you can see how this can actually be seen as a turtle soup, which also just aids the continuation for price to go higher. So with that in mind here, I'm looking for price to sort of stay above this little fair value gap here, which has been inversed. So you can see it more so as that, but I actually just draw out the entire zone here. Okay. So you'll see that price plays around here for quite a while. And I'm not really looking to enter unless I'm in my macro session. There's the first macro that plays out here. Price sort of plays around here, still consolidating. And here we go, okay. Now this is my second macro of the New York session. Also, I will link the video above of the MRT strategy, which goes over my macro range theory, which will also help you guys understand what I'm speaking about right over here, okay. But essentially, all this is just a key time I'm looking to enter within price. Some macros are seen as a move for price to sweep. So as you can see, this first macro, this high was then swept twice, and then price trades towards the low, very similar to our CRT. And as you can see, this macro over here is more so as a reversal time macro, as price is now coming to make the reversals to the upside. So now once again, I'm looking at this, I'm seeing that there's more liquidity being taken out, okay? And now here's where I actually pull out my CRT checklist. Now if you guys want that exact checklist, I've already also put it in the first link in the description, as well as my 5 steps to becoming a pro trader. That is also below. But now from this point, even though I'm still looking for bullish bias, I'm not fully confident in price pushing to the upside at this current stage. So I looked for other scenarios to how price could move lower. So obviously you can see this as a chaining state, this bearish move right here. And we could see this possibly price now just coming to this order block here and then just starting to fall through to the downside. And now I just take an unnecessary loss. So instead of just playing guesswork, I also enabled the flux charts price action toolkit. So now with this toolkit, what it shows me is the exact volumetric info at each zone that's been presented to me. So I had a conflicting bias between this fair value gap, which is currently being played off of, and this order block that was going to continue this bearish move, and that price has been following through for the entire of the London to the pre-New York session. So with that, I'm looking at how much volume is right over here. As you can see, there's 58% at this FEG, and there's only 16% at the order block. So with that alone, I'm looking at that and saying, okay, going against the two, I can see the order block getting disrespected a lot more easier, which would enable me to also continue my move to the upside. Now, if you guys also want my exact settings for this one, I'll just show it to you guys right here. So flux charts price action toolkit, I have the fair value gaps enabled, and the main thing I'm focusing on is, as I said, the volumetric info. So I understand what has a higher probability, which zone has a higher probability of being played off of. So once I've clearly defined that, I then now tick off my points on my checklist. So the first thing is we do have a CRT sweep. So you want to follow a system that has rules that at least limit you or put you in the right direction. So firstly, we have my CRT sweep, which is of that 1 AM candle. Beautiful sweep there. We then have a liquidation model. We didn't have a liquidation model, which was our total swoop, which we identified on the high time frame. And we do have price quickly returning back into the range. Now, essentially a quick return is just price pushing away. So here's where price made the sweep just below this line. And you see how price comes to quickly return back into this range. That is what I regard as a quick return. I'm not looking for price to play around all the way up, okay? And then now, lastly, my chain instead deliver, which price is currently doing, okay? So I'm just ticking off all the things I need for my CRT. And lastly, I don't want liquidity to be against me. This one you can skip out on, but it is quite important to me. So already I'm having a full-blown checklist right there. I'm feeling a lot more confident in my trade. So from here, lastly, just having price moving upward here, I'm going to enter the trade right about here. Let's just quickly see. So you can see here, once again, you can see here's that battle going on between the two. So this is really cool to see because as I said, at this point, I was just kind of guessing which zone is going to be disrespected. But as you can see, in terms of the bouts, the volume was on the side of the FEG, and that's why we saw this one was getting pushed into. Once I saw this, that's when I was looking to enter my trade here. That's when I looked to enter my trade, right as price was closing above here, chaining state, and then trading off of this newfound break block as well. And you can see right there, price is constantly now conforming to that bullishness right here. Here's more bullish volume that price is playing off of within the trade. Okay. And you can see from here, price just started to skyrocket, okay? All that previous bearish nature is now being disrespected, okay? And that's why this is also a key thing to have. In the Noble Lakes, I focus on, for one, simplicity. So in the Noble Lakes, what I focus to lay off to you guys is clarity without guesswork, without emotional stress. That's why we focus on one candle a day. And the volume also gives me a lot more clarity because you can have a ton of order blocks and FEGs outlined on your chart, but I don't really understand the story behind them. It's hard to tell which one will be played off of when you're having these conflicting areas like we just had over here. So once I did that, I entered my trade over here, and then I was just looking to target the 5M higher, okay? As I said, here's that 9M candle now distributing. And once again, let me just quickly outline this for you guys. Here is the CRT sweep. Here is the main range, okay? I did take my trade out early just at the high point though, because I was looking to hold this. We were already entering PM session, so I wasn't really looking to hold that for too long. And you can see this just like updates the entire time. And it just shows you like the difference between bullish and bearish volume. Okay. So we're going to go up here. Price does give a little nice area to re-enter from. Okay, there we go. So that's where we currently are. Okay. So pretty much beautiful. That was our trade execution for today. And netting this trade, I'll show you guys the exact amount somewhere here. But you can see that it did play out in our intended direction with now price finally reaches that 1 a.m. high point. Now, as I said, once again, guys, if you guys want to get my full course, my full checklist I just used also in today's video, first link in the description is the entire PDF version. And you guys can also get access to the live streams as well as how I timed today's reversal using volumetric info. See you guys in the next video. Go watch the 4-hour candle close video, the daily time frame video. And if you want to get a bit more information and you want to go over the bar, you can also go look at our weekly bias video, which also did play a very huge role